Hi, I'm Charlotte and today we're going to make a festive Christmas garland. First of all, I just want to quickly go over what I've got in front of me. So we've got a few different ingredients, a lot of different beautiful seasonal Christmas foliages. We've got things like spruce, eucalyptus and some beautiful gold asparagus fern that we're going to be using, all of which you can probably find on your local florist. If they don't have it in stock, you can probably ask them to buy it. If you didn't want to go for maybe the colours that I've gone for, you could go for something a bit different, just make it personal to you and what you'd like to have at home yourself. Let's begin with cutting our piece of string or rope, whatever you might have lying around in the garage or at home, to about just over a metre, metre and a half in length. And then to that we can attach our foliages. Just get our rope ready. And then we'll begin to cut some of our foliages ready so we can attach it to our string. I've got some beautiful blue spruce, which is a lovely Christmas foliage. It lasts really well, especially out of water, which if you're gonna plan to have your garland in home, over your mantelpiece if you've got one. If you haven't, maybe your console table, down the middle of your dining room table for Christmas. It'll all add to that scent and it will just last through the Christmas period. So we're just going to start by cutting some pieces of spruce into some sections. Small pieces and big pieces, doesn't really matter. We just go with the flow and just grab everything that we need. And we're going to try and use up every single bit of piece of foliage that we've got. Nothing's going to go to waste. And then we'll just make a little pile in front of us of everything that we've cut ready to attach to our rope. You could equally go foraging for loads of foliages if you didn't want to have specific type of foliages like the eucalyptus. Anything that's an evergreen will last really well in the home. So all this I've got from a florist. There we go. And we've got some beautiful seeded eucalyptus. Again, which has got another beautiful scent to it. And it's just different colours of foliages that just add different tonal qualities to the piece. I'm also going to add in some beautiful hypericum berries, which is this gorgeous ruby red, which is just going to add that little bit of classic Christmas colours to the piece. So with the hypericum, it's a hypericum spray, so it's got multiple pieces per stem. So we're just going to cut this down into sections. So this one's got, well, I can get 4 pieces out of this one, so we can cut these up so we can get maximum berries per stem. And I'm just going to simply remove these leaves, just because you'll find with hypericum berry leaves they tend to go dry and crispy way before the berries, so it just ruins the aesthetic look. So we're just going to take all these leaves off so that you've got just the berries showing. And if you're not a fan of red, you can get these in a beautiful white or pale pink. Most florists could probably get them in for you if they didn't already stock them. But we're going to stick with the red because it's the nice traditional colour. For the Christmas garland, we're going to attach all our materials and flowers to a piece of rope, simply by using some wire, which again you can source from your local florist. So to begin with, we want to wrap a bit of wire around the end of the rope, just a couple of times to start us off. You can work the wire down the rope like so. And then we are ready to begin. So you're going to grab a piece of foliage, maybe a bit of conifer, hold it on top of your rope, and with your wire you're just going to simply wrap it around the stems a few times just to secure it in place. I tend to work left to right, but you can go the opposite direction. As long as you're keeping the foliage going all in one direction, then it will look beautiful when you come to the end. So a few times, so that's secured onto the rope, and then we're going to take another bit of foliage, layer it on top, slightly further down, and that will hide the mechanics of the first layer. And again with your wire, you're just going to pull it tightly around the foliage a couple of times onto the rope, securing it into place. I'm going to take a bit of eucalyptus with a bit of the spruce, bind it on with the wire, round a few times, and then we can work in a bit of the berry. Bind it on, and then if you, at this point you find the stem's a little bit long like this one is, once you've attached it with the wire, simply grab your scissors and give it a little snip. And then you can continue with your foliage. So we're trying to keep the garland as flat as possible, just so if it was to go on the table or the mantelpiece, it's going to sit nice and flat on the surface, so it's not going to fall off to either side. But you want enough foliage either side so you're not exposing all the rope. The only time you want to see the rope is if it's upside down. All the flowers and foliages that I've selected are long lasting. So this is why I'm not using any floral foam, which is going straight onto a piece of rope, which is obviously sustainable. You could use that again and again next year. But as the foliages are pretty much all evergreens, they retain a lot of moisture and water themselves, so they don't actually need to be in any water. Plus I find as they naturally dry out, it takes on a different form and it just, well, it looks beautiful. This is a brilliant activity to do with family and friends. Get everybody around the dining room table, everyone get a section. You could do one each and then join all the sections up together, or you could do bits of it separately. But it's a real fun activity. It's nice and quick and easy, relatively simple, and good fun. Let's add a little bit of the gold asparagus fern in. This is a little bit more jazzy. Asparagus fern is normally obviously green. This one's been dipped in paint, so he's got that nice gold. It comes in obviously different lots of colours. Again, you could probably source it from your local florist. If you didn't fancy gold and you wanted to, I don't know, go for pink. It just adds a little bit of sparkle without being too bling. I'm going to carry on with this and we'll see you shortly at the next stage. We're nearly at the end, come to the end of the rope, so I will show you how to finish off the end so you don't end up with just a bit of rope at the end, basically. What you want to do is, when you're nearing the end, is grab a bit of, ideally spruce, because it's nice and thick, and just point it the other way. Piece of spruce, piece of conifer. Do exactly the same with the wire. Wrap it around. So it secures that into place. You want to have a bit of the foliage go in the same way, so when you get to the end, that bit you've just done will finish it off nice and neat. Again, if you have any stems that are slightly long, just trim as you go, like that one. I'm going to add in this bit of lovely loose spruce. A bit more conifer. And I'm going to place that way just to finish off. Wrap the wire around. Going to turn that end over, pull the wire nice and tight, leave the length of wire, cut it off, and then you can just pull it around the rope, back through on itself, keeping a little bit of the wire as a loop, do a few twizzles, and then take that length and twizzle those two bits together. And that will secure the end of your wire so it doesn't all come unravelled. So that's the last thing we want. All that hard work and then pull it off. Okay, so that's all fastened. trim off the end, plaster them down and trim off any excess bit of rope, nice and flush. And then we're ready to decorate with our pine cones and our orange slices. Here we go, one completed festive garland. This is beautiful as it is already. You could leave it as it is, pop it on your table, pop it on your mantelpiece, put it over a console table, wherever you feel it could go in the home. But I'm actually going to add in some orange slices and some pine cones, which are beautiful. They are eco-friendly. You can use them year after year, so don't throw them away this year, save them for next year and then reuse them. So we're going to start by wiring them up. I'm going to take a pair of orange slices, put them together, and then I'm going to pop a wire. Again, all these materials, if you don't have them at home already, you can just pick them up at your local florist. I'm going to pop the wire through the orange rind underneath and the outer skin, pull the wire together, a few little twists, and then bring the wire legs together, and that is one orange slice all wired up and ready to go in a second. So we're going to continue to wire up some more slices. Again, pop the wire through the fleshy part underneath the skin, bring the wires together, a couple of nice twists, not super tight but tight enough that it's not going to fall off. Close the wires legs together again, and that's your bit of wiring done. So we'll continue and then we'll move on to the pine cones. Time to wipe the pine cones. I'm going to grab a pine cone, have the pointy end facing towards me and the flat base of it away. Grab a wire, put it in between the pine needles so you've got equal amount of wire either side, so half and half. Now with one of the sides you want to pull it around the bottom needles, nice and tight, so it joins the other leg. Few twists just to secure it. Pull the wire legs together, bring it down, and that's all wired up to attach into our festive garland. Okay, so that is all our cones and orange slices wired up. So now we can attach all these into the garland. So I'm going to grab a pine cone first of all. I'm going to start down one end of the festive garland. I'm going to look to see where I want to attach it into it. I'm going to choose in between my two hypericums where there's a bit of a natural space for it to fall. Poke the wire through so it comes out the other side. You can gently turn over your garland so you can see where the wire's popped out, and then you're just going to go around the rope just to secure him in. And then once it's on the other side, because he's on a wire, you can mould him so you can have him pointing up, pointing down, pointing forward, however you want him to sit, you can manipulate him. Then I'm going to grab an orange slice and do exactly the same thing, but a bit further down the garland. Pop the wire through so he pokes out the other side. Turn the garland over, pop the wire around the rope just to secure him into place. And again with the orange slices you can pull them back or forward, but a bit more gentle than the pine cone. And we're going to continue this process all the way down the garland. I've gone all the way along the festive garland, evenly spaced out my cones and oranges, but I've got a few pieces left. So rather than just chucking them away, I'm going to group two of my pine cones in the centre, and I'm probably going to add an orange slice at the end just to use it all up. Waste not, want not. I'm going to group that pine cone with that one, so he's got a little friend. I'm going to pop this cone in with this one. And then this orange slice just at the end to finish it off. There we go, so that is one festive garland, all finished and all complete, ready to go above your mantelpiece, table centre, wherever you fancy this Christmas, ready to enjoy.